Emily Lafayette was wearing. And it was like, it had like a shoulder pad and it was short sleeve and it was red and it had gold buttons on it. And she was wearing it on her birthday. And I was like, what brand is that? It's so cute. She's like, it's J. Crew. I went on, it might have been like more long sleeve, not short sleeve. Sorry. And I went on and I got it in blue too. Like you said, you're like, buy different colors. It looks like it's $2,000.
Yeah.
They make some great stuff.
I also want to shout out two other brands that I think do really fashion-forward stuff. One of them is a brand that I'm actually not sure how it's pronounced. It's NA-KD, so naked. I think they're based in Sweden. I'm not sure. They're somewhere in Europe, but they have really affordable pieces that are at a great price point. And Mango. Mango is, in my opinion, if like the Zara H&Ms of the world is where you look, I would really recommend looking at Mango because I think that they're in the same price point, but they have a little bit more of a design edge to it. They just did an unbelievable collaboration with Victoria Beckham. And, you know, me and Whitney Port at Dear Media IRL this weekend were wearing the entire collection because we had just gotten it and loved it and it looked so good.
You looked adorable.
That was Tory Burch, but Whitney was during our panel was wearing the Victoria Beckham Mango blazer and it looked amazing.
Very, very, very cute, I must say. Something that I personally am obsessed with is tones. I feel like every time I see you, I'm like, tones. When I was little, like I remember like looking at certain books or colors in the crayon box and like putting tones together. I like love tones. And even on Instagram, like it just has to be the right tone for me. And I think that this is something that's not talked about enough when it comes to clothes. Walk us through tones.
So I'm going to be totally real here. I think tones is like a life journey that everyone's on.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult for me now when I go on social media and I see everybody doing kind of the tone.
Like muted.
No, the tone girl who's going through and doing the color toning. Sorry, I'm making this motion because, you know, she like goes through and does the different colors. I just feel like personal style and fashion is an evolution and something that you figure out through life. There's never a period on the end of it. And I never really want to be restricted to not wearing one thing because someone said that tone doesn't work for me. Something you and I have also talked about is that you have to take into account that your tone could change. Like even today I sat down and I said, you dyed your hair. And I only noticed that because your face looked warmer because of your hair color. Huh. So tone changes. And, you know, I get spray tans. I know you do too. Like even my tone changes then. So I am slightly weary of the like color scheming situation because of the fact that, you know, we're not in a constant state of the same thing all the time. Change my color, change my skin tone, you know, do a spray tan, all that kind of changes. I will say though that something that I did this year that I really liked was I actually went in my closet, and something I do passionately is clean out my closet. And when I clean out my closet, I make a very conscious effort to give myself enough time in the day where I can try on everything as I'm cleaning out. So my routine is that
I wish I could delegate that.
I totally get it. For me, it's something that is like kind of
so much work.
It's like self-care for me. I really enjoy doing it, and it's not for everybody. But I make an effort to try everything on. And while I'm doing that, I'm taking photos of myself in the mirror, and that's a really good way to see if a tone works for you. I think IRL, you can't really tell if it's hitting, but in a photo, you'll be able to be like, that washes me out a lot. For me and my skin tone, I stay away from pastels. So like a light green, a light beige, like those don't really work for me. And again, I think that that's something that you have to do your own kind of trial and error with, and know that you can go do these like color swatching things, but don't limit yourself to just that, and really do it based on like what actually feels good for you, and like when you see a picture of yourself, what you like.
I also think this is like weird, but like if I have a big red pimple on my face, I'm not going to wear red. I don't know, if I have like a yellow tint to my skin because I'm hungover, I'm not going to throw on yellow.
How many times have you been like maybe planning an outfit because you're going to a wedding this summer, for example, and you put the dress on, maybe you show it to a friend or two, and they say, oh, but like that with a suntan and gold jewelry will look great. Yeah. That happens to me all the time. And that's why the color toning test for me that's where it loses its merit, because that also is a valuable point. It's like, oh, you know, in the summer when I'm a bit tanner, like that will look great. And I bet you if she did a color test on me, she'd be like, orange isn't your color. But if I put it on in the summer, like I love how I feel in orange. So I think of fashion from a point of how it makes you feel. And maybe that's a little bit emotional. And I know that you come from it from a very scientific, so we can meet halfway here. But for me, it's about what makes you feel good. And like, if orange makes me feel good and she told me I can't wear orange, I'm still going to wear orange.
I love it. Yeah. Be brutal with the next question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
What are things that you just think are out? Like, you were just like, no. Like, what are things that's just dated? It doesn't. And be really honest. Like, we're not hurting anyone's feelings. Like, I want to know what you look at and you're just like, that's a myth.